rolling. Number 20, LSU on the road, winners of 4 of their last 5, taking on the still winless in the SEC Tennessee Volunteers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Brock Ewart. Allison Williams will join us in just a moment. For the 3rd time since Phil Fulmer was patrolling the sidelines here at Rocky Top, they have made a coaching change. Lane Kiffin, that was drama. Obviously, Derek Dooley, that was failure. Now with Butch Jones, this is as bad as it's ever been here?
Yeah, that's what all the locals have said over the weekend. It was as toxic as it's ever been here. And obviously the firing of Butch Jones means the elevation tonight of interim head coach Brady Hoke, who's been through some firings of his own. And I will be very curious tonight. To me, he controls the keys to how aggressive this team and how emotional they're going to be. If you thought you were going to tune in tonight and see an 0-6 team in conference in a half-full stadium, then I don't think you understand the passion and want to in this town and what football means here in Knoxville. Crowd's lively. And the Volunteers are going to have to be incredibly emotional and aggressive if they're going to get this done tonight.
Welcome to Knoxville. We are just underway between LSU and Tennessee. Bob Wischusen alongside Brock Ewart. Allison Williams down on a windy field here at Neyland Stadium. And Brock, Tennessee, of course, the story this past week, the coaching change. Brady Hoke takes over on an interim basis for these last couple of games. And over on the LSU sideline, Ed Orgeron through this before. Last year takes over. He was the interim coach, earned the head job. Brady Hoke, of course, piloting Tennessee the rest of the way. And this LSU team has won 4 of their last 5, playing excellent football. And they'll start the game with a run to Darius Geis.
Get ready to see number 5 early and often tonight. He's the best player on this field. He's the most dynamic player. He's got 3 games in his career under his belt, over 250 yards rushing. And he's going to be facing a Vol defense that gave up 433 on the ground to Missouri as this wind howls tonight. In a passing game that already struggles for efficiency. The run game going to be prominent for LSU tonight.
Jet sweep action to Derek Dillon. And he's brought down well behind the line. A loss of at least 4. Nigel Warrior read it and came through like a rocket.
These first 5 minutes of this game are vital for a Tennessee team whose season has been wrecked, who lost their leader. And Ed Orgeron said it. He knows it. As you just said, Bob, he's been in this seat before. How this team responds emotionally in this building early will really set the tone.
Blitz on 3rd down. Swing pass to Darrell Williams. Blockers out in front to the 31-yard line, well short of the 1st down.
This is amazing, isn't it? I just don't know how many other places you have an 0-6 team in conference and you have over 90,000 that fill the stadium and have the kind of juice that we're feeling tonight.
Into a swirling wind. Zach von Rosenberg gets away a wobbly kick. Marquez Callaway with the fair catch just inside the 30-yard line. And Allison, it is swirling.
Yeah, Bob, it is gusts of 25 miles an hour. I have to tell you, I have never seen so many dropped balls during warm-ups, whether it was guys trying to field a punt or catch a reception. It was obviously really hard to track the ball in this wind. And here's the thing, it's not like it's blowing the length of the field going east to west. It is blowing directly across the field in gusts that have blown people's hats off. At one point, Blake Ferguson, the long snapper for LSU, looked at me and he's like, this is absurd. So it could affect not just throwing and kicking the ball, but even snapping it.
On 1st and 15 to John Kelly on the ground. And he gets back 4 or so. It will be 2nd down and long, but that's the #1 recruit in America, at least according to the guys that break that down for us at ESPN. #1 on the ESPN 300.
And that's the alpha. And for whoever the next coach is, there is the foundation of this program offensively. Hard to find quarterbacks, hard to find left tackles. He is a gifted one. And he and the young pups around him tonight are going to have to run the ball.
The redshirt freshman, Garantano, has not thrown a touchdown pass since the Indiana State game back on September 9th. The injury carousel has affected Tennessee at quarterback as much as it has on the offensive line. But John Kelly's been here all season long. And he comes up 5 yards shy of the first down. So 3rd down for the Vols. And the redshirt freshman, his first start was against South Carolina.
And he's lean and mean, and he's got nobody behind him. Will McBride, who started a week ago, he is out injured tonight. There's 5 healthy linemen. The next guy in is a walk-on converted defensive lineman. I mean, it is 20 guys down tonight. 5 scholarship offensive linemen down. This is a group that is decimated. It's going to take everybody in a Herculean effort to get it done against the Tigers.
Garantano can't avoid the sack. The blitz comes through, and Kevin Tolliver is able to bring him down, and it will be a 3-and-out for Tennessee.
Kevin Tolliver is your corner. Anytime you get into the short field there, the boundary for a veteran quarterback, they're going to peek out there. The 97 Vols are here. And Peyton Manning had a lot of success in this building. There was none better at diagnosing blitzes than number 1-8. He would have seen that blitz, but a redshirt freshman didn't, and he paid for it.
Now, you talked about Trey Smith being arguably the best player for Tennessee. You can make an argument their second best player is about to receive the snap. Trevor Daniel has been that good punting the football, and with the breeze, the intentional end-over-end kick to cut through the wind to DJ Chark. And he is able to squeeze his way to about the 30-yard line. 49-yard punt. That is saying something in these wins. Tennessee hasn't beaten LSU since an overtime win back in 2005 down in Baton Rouge.
You said it, they're getting hot. They too are playing a lot of young people. They too are playing 2 true freshmen on offensive line, and they've grown up an awful lot in Matt Canada's system.
A lot of pre-snap shifting into an unbalanced line. Geis looking for a cutback lane. Not much there. Gained a couple. Daniel Batuli made the stop. Let's check it. Tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it is going to be Darius Geis in multiple ways. He's going to do it as a quarterback. He's going to do it lining up outside and coming into the running back position. DJ Chark is number 1 in the SEC when it comes to yards per catch, number 2 in the country. And on the other side are 2 guys out in that secondary. Golden's going to be rotating in at safety. Warrior is just that. He is a physical presence playing strong safety.
Counter handoff, and Geis again is bottled up. Moves the pile for about 3, maybe 4 yards. At the very least, it'll be 3rd down and 5.
And this is an energy you did not see in Columbia, Missouri last week. Didn't see penetration. You didn't see linebackers getting to the line of scrimmage aggressively like Colton Jumper just did. It's a good start for an embattled defensive front 7.
Well, statistically, running the football, the only unit for Tennessee that has probably been worse than their run group has been their run defense. So this already is a win early on for the Vols. 3rd and 5.
Man-to-man.
Etling under pressure, slips a middle screen, short of the first down. Foster Moreau turned back. Elliott Berry makes the stop.
That's not a bad play versus man-to-man coverage if you can get your linemen down the field and onto those linebackers, but a better play there from Berry sneaking under that offensive lineman to create another 3-and-out, back-to-back 3-and-outs. Exactly what you're looking for in this building if you're the Volunteers.
Callaway,
Marquez Callaway calls for another fair catch. Lost it at the 15-yard line. LSU's got the football. Russell Gage comes up with the recovery.
Well, Allison nailed it. She said every phase of this game, this wind is going to impact it. It's going to impact the coordinators the way they call it, and it impacts Callaway right there. You can see him. He's anticipating that ball at a certain place, And with 25-mile-an-hour gusts, it's going to move. And there is no sure thing for any of these returners. I mean, you could see the flags there on the uprights. Look at that ball moving. Looks like a screwball. Those are hard to hit. They're hard to catch on a punt, too.
Callaway makes the first big mistake. Red zone chance for the LSU offense to get on the board. Etling on a keeper. Submarines to the 11. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
61% LSU scoring touchdowns down here for a group that loves to run the ball. That's got to ratchet up a little bit. And I think it speaks to some of their challenges out on the perimeter. Outside of Chark, there's just not a lot of other efficiency. Love the tight ends. 84, you saw it there, Morrow, earlier on the little screen pass on 3rd down. But typically teams that run the ball well are better finding touchdowns in the red zone.
Etling again on a keeper. Inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Reginald McKenzie was there to make the stop. That's a courageous young man. That is a young man that had a bad disc last year and played through it. And when you have a herniated disc that eventually requires surgery, the only place he could sleep and get pain-free relief was to lay on the floor of his apartment. Facing 3rd down and 4 inside the 10. Etling, swing pass, Geis, bottled up. Quartes sap. First there for Tennessee. And the Vols will hold to a field goal attempt after the fumbled punt.
Nowhere to go there. Everybody is covered up. That's a conservative call. You see Matt Canada here, coordinator, I think very early in this game, trying to get a feel, but playing very conservatively in all 3 series.
Connor Culp nails it from 30 yards out. LSU on the board first, but Tennessee with a good stand on defense. Bob Shoes and Brock Ewert, Allison Williams, where coaching changes in Knoxville have come fast and furious since Phil Fulmer left in 2009. And really, Brock, when you think about it, coaching changes have come fast and furious everywhere in the SEC since Nick Saban took over at Alabama.
Yeah, he's changed the game. And the expectations in so many of these locales. I grew up watching a lot of these games. My formative years and as a kid through junior high, high school, we're watching this checkered end zone in these games at night. And so many big games for so many years and so much success as they just celebrated the 97 team in that end zone. It's a long ways away right now with all the instability.
True freshman Ty Chandler hit hard at the 20-yard line. Garantano to the sideline. And the catch is made by Ethan Wolf.
And there's Brady Hoke, and he's talking to Callaway. He knows, Marquez, you're going to have to catch more of these tonight in this wind and just secure it. Marquez saying, look, I had it. It just blew away from me. Brady Hoke says, don't you dare take anything for granted tonight. Brady was blunt and honest with us. He wants 2 wins for these guys to get them to a bowl game after back-to-back 9-win seasons. For the upperclassmen to find a way to still get to a bowl game. That is still on the table for the Volunteers.
John Kelly nowhere to go. Lost at least 3. 3rd down and 6. Rashard Lawrence blew that play up against the interior of that banged up offensive line for Tennessee.
Yeah, that is impossible. That is Trey Smith. He's got an inside technique there, and you're asking your true freshman left tackle to somehow, some way get inside of that. That 320-pound man that was anticipating that play. That's what we call an NC on the grade sheet. No contest. Nothing that you could do there against that penetration. Look out, you already saw the one blitz earlier. Dave Aranda, as good as anybody, the coordinator at LSU, of drawing those blitzes up, especially against inexperience on the line and a quarterback.
And this line is porous as there is in the conference. Garantano flips a screen out to the left, and it's wide open and available for John Kelly. And that is the first down for either team here in the first quarter, a gain of 16.
And that is the one fear that Dave Aranda had, that if you're going to bring that blitz and that pressure, that screen pass, and you could see it, they've been vulnerable this season. And Dave telling us yesterday there's times that they've had the right call on. In that case, that was man-to-man coverage, and his middle linebacker got lost. His eyes were looking into the backfield. He lost sight of Kelly for just that moment, who was able to sneak out and make Aranda pay.
Wide receiver hitch, caught by Brandon Johnson, breaks a tackle. Inside the 40-yard line. That's a Tennessee first down. Out of bounds at the 35.
And that was a true freshman. That was Grant Delpit out in space. Had a nice tackle, nearly saving tackle on that fourth down run. But this will be the game plan for Tennessee. It is going to, kind of like LSU on the other side, hitch routes, bubble screens, swing passes, just going to play it very close to the vest offensively. And then you've got to be better, and you've got to win those one-on-one matchups, whether it's against those big men at the point of attack or out on the perimeter.
Kelly trying to bounce it outside, can't shake free. Maybe fought his way back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and long.
Guys, we are already seeing what we expected from Tennessee. More aggressive play calling and an emotionally charged team. Ed Orgeron and LSU knew this would be the case. They experienced it firsthand last year when he took over for Les Miles. And I can tell you guys, down on the sideline, you can feel the energy from Tennessee. Guys are standing up on the bench, waving the towels, jumping around. They are a juice team. The guys I talked to said, we look at it like this. We're starting a new season. We're looking to go 2-0 and play for a third game. And you can see that so far tonight.
Garantano looking to get off to a 5-for-5 start, and does. High percentage to John Kelly, and that spirit for Tennessee continues. They've got another first down, a gain of 11 more on the slip screen to Kelly.
That is really well timed. It's all about timing and precision. If you're going to be efficient in the screen game, as a QB, you got to bait them. Come on. Come on, Dave Aranda. Come on, bring your rushers at me, and you bait them just enough to allow the offensive lineman to get in front. It's also good timing from Kelly and Garantano, who had to watch yesterday that debacle, or last week, that debacle in Mizzou. You can feel it.
And shorten the game, right? For a young football team, take it to the end of the quarter. And head right down in front of that student section for a first down inside the 25-yard line when we start the second quarter here at Rocky Top. LSU on top 3-0. Tennessee threatening. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And there is the athletic director, first year for Tennessee, John Curry, who responded to the pressure here in Knoxville and was building on his program to make a coaching change. Butch Jones out, Brady Hoke takes over, but who will be in charge of this program moving forward? Now that process already underway. Still 2 more games to go for the Vols, and this might be a double pass. The trick play comes up short. Tyler Bird pulled the string just a little bit and underthrew the double pass intended for Jordan Murphy.
And we've got onside kicks. We've got fake field goals. We've got a fourth down at your own 49-yard line. You're going to see all of it tonight. There's a look at Larry Scott, the offensive coordinator. He told us this would be coming, but you can just see that ball die. I mean, gusts up to 40 miles per hour now. And I don't mind that call. It's going to continue with the aggressive theme, but tough for quarterbacks to execute down the field, even tougher for running backs and receivers.
Kelly caught behind the line by Devin White. A loss of close to 4, and now it's third down and a mile.
And this guy's a bit of an enigma to me. And he is a little bit to the staff, too. There are plays that are as electric as any linebacker in college football. In fact, he's #1 in the SEC, 10 tackles a game, 14 a week ago when he didn't have a tremendous grade, but he was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. I could show you a screen pass from 3 plays ago where he gets blocked up and he lets it out, and then he does stuff like that with just dynamic playmaking. It's a consistency for so many of these young players on this defense that I think Dave Aranda and his staff are still searching for.
3rd and 7+ has been a nightmare for the Vols. This is close to 3rd and 14. Blitz coming. Garantano, he's going to take a shot towards the pylon, and it's thrown away and incomplete. Josh Palmer, the intended receiver. Ethan Wolf was there as well. So it looks like a field goal attempt for Tennessee to try and tie the game.
And there was some contact, but not enough to draw a penalty. And I would tell Jarrett there, just try to keep that in bounds. Right, that's going to be the theme tonight. Is you're going to just be aggressive. You're going to push the ball. You're going to try to make plays. And if you do so, you got to give your receiver, in that case Callaway, an opportunity to do it.
That was the first incompletion for Garantano. 45 yards away. Aaron Medley will try and tie it up. Plenty of distance. Wow. And it's good. Room to spare. Tied at 3. Early 2nd quarter here at Neyland. It is not raining yet here in Knoxville, but it will be soon. There is a line of heavy rain headed towards Neyland Stadium. So already with gusty winds, this game could get even more interesting in terms of how these teams handle the elements, as Clyde Edwards-Helaire will take a knee. LSU still without a first down on offense.
And has yet to push the ball down the field. Every throw has been at or behind the line of scrimmage. At some point, you know that is going to change to #7.
Right now, they've got #5 lined up about 6 yards deep. Darius Geis can always hit a home run. Lowered his shoulders for about 3. Quartey Sapp made the stop. Now, Brock, I told you, as Mr. G a moment ago, it was coming. And there is heavy rain right on our doorstep.
You know, if I wasn't doing this, you know what I'd be doing, right? Meteorologist.
I could see you in front of a big green screen.
Yeah, this is called a lot of moisture, high pressure front, pushing in.
Is that what it is?
We've got weather delays and had them all day today. Let's hope we avoid some lightning, but the rain and the moisture's coming.
Etling under pressure. Unloads it to the flat, incomplete. Darrell Taylor was all over Danny Etling, and now it's 3rd down and 7.
And Mr. Etling's going to look at Darius Geis and say, I need a little more than that. Not just in the run game, but if I'm going to throw it, you've got to protect. And you can see just could not get anything going in that first quarter. Very little push. And Tennessee has done this before defensively. Alabama, Georgia, they've played good halves of football, just not 4 quarters.
Can they sustain it? Play clock down to 11 as LSU a little slow getting out of the huddle. 3rd down and 7. Play clock at 5. They get the snap off. Etling under pressure. The pocket collapses. And so does Etling. Underneath Jonathan Kungba. Callaway lost it again. His 2nd dropped punt, and LSU has it again.
One of the challenges is there is nothing you can do. It was a glorious week of weather. It was beautiful here yesterday, and Brady once again doing his best. But that may be the last punt we see him try to catch in return this evening. You just can't practice this. And you can see fundamentally he's in a better spot. He is underneath the football this time. Just does not tuck those elbows in. Does not secure that catch. Goes right through his hands. Got to get that chin up. Chin up.
Well, now, once again, the Vols need their defense to stand up in the red zone.
How about something down the field? How about a little bit of an aggressive shot to pay off this field position for now a second time?
On a keeper, it's Etling. He picked up 4. LSU still doesn't have a first down. Their first field goal came because Marquez Callaway muffed a fair catch. They took over in the red zone and could manage only 3. The exact same scenario here. They are taking over in the red zone after the second muff by Marquez Callaway, looking to take the lead.
Well, these guys are flying. That's Patulli, the linebacker. You see linebackers flying like they are right now. You have to counteract that with play action pass.
Option. The pitch out to the edge. Geis toe taps. And he stepped out at the 10. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Big play here. LSU looking for their first down. And if they get it, it'll be a goal-to-go situation.
They trust their left guard an awful lot. Their center left guard, two of their most powerful men on the line of scrimmage.
Sweep. Cut back. It's there for Darrell Williams. LSU with the touchdown. And they've got the lead back.
Just as effective. I was calling for play action pass, but all their jet sweep accomplishes really the same thing. You're going to come and watch the motion here. Look at the defensive end, Kyle Phillips. He is going to take it. Once those shoulders turn here, you are dead. A good kick out block and a touchdown for LSU to finally pay off a favorable field position.
The 7th rushing touchdown this season for Darrell Williams. And through the wind, Colbad's the point after. LSU by a touchdown early second quarter. And there is Callaway, the up man in the 2-man return group, as Tim Jordan is a couple of yards deep. And this will be a touchback. Not so fun, I guess, if you're Garantano. As he hands to John Kelly, tries to go wide. And the Bayou Bengals stretch it out, and it's another tackle for loss. There's Devin White again. Ray Thornton helping out. Luckily for John Kelly, he got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Third down and 7 coming up after a 3-yard gain for Kelly.
Once again, it is those big men. Those shoulders are just square. You've got seniors in Gilmore and Lockature playing against true freshmen on the other side. You were able to rotate in a big old Frank Herron. Look at Lockature there, the 5th-year player. Right, those guys stay so square at the point of attack, makes it so difficult to move them. It's hard enough for juniors and seniors in this league to do it. It's quite a challenge for freshmen and redshirt freshmen, which is what this Vol line is littered with.
Jordan in the right flat. Room to run. Breaking tackles and somersaulting. Out to the 45-yard line is Tim Jordan, the true freshman.
If you drop 2 punts, how are you going to make up for it? And watch my guy Callaway come in here. We call this a crack screen. Callaway drops 2 punts. Where does he take that frustration out on? Right on that middle linebacker, and this ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so this contact is allowed. Callaway's a big guy, 6'2", 200 pounds, and once again for the 3rd time this evening, those numbers don't lie. That screen pass effective, and that nearly to the house if Jordan could keep his feet.
Tennessee tries a jet sweep of their own. That's Malik Elliott. the track star, the walk-on, given a chance to carry the football, and he picked up 10.
How many times have we gotten an SID moments before a game, walk into our booth and say, oh, here you go, here's another guy. 5'7", $185. If you see him on the field, he's probably going to get the ball. I mean, they're just taking everybody, all comers, to try to fill some of the voids left by so many injuries to this Tennessee team this season. Take a shot. Take a shot to Callaway. You're going to get some one-on-ones. He's right to the top of the screen here.
They go with the workhorse, and it's Kelly again. Ooh. Grinding out extra yards. He's got 8.
Well, he is the heartbeat. Skateboarder or not, he is the engine that makes this group go. And I'll tell you, I love the plan tonight. I love the fact they are taking so much of this play clock down. Brady Hoke talked about stealing possessions to us yesterday. I think he's gotten a feel for this game, and this is some of the advantage of having Brady Hoke and his experience. 3-time head coach. In fact, conference coach of the year 3 different times. Only 2 men in the history of college football alongside him in that category. And I like how he's playing this. You know what, we're going toe-to-toe with him, and outside of botching 2 punts here, we're right in this thing, and I like how he's shortening this game tonight.
Kelly, this time, ends up walled off by Greg Gilmore and Kristen Lacouture. And now we've got some players on the near side of the field that have to be separated by the officials after the play was over. It was Marquez Callaway getting into it with Greedy Williams. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
I think that's a little bit of the frustration for Marquez. He took it out earlier on a block. Still frustrated that those 2 punts went through his hands, setting up the 10 points for LSU.
And that rain, we said, was on the way, has arrived before 3rd down and 3. Garantano on a rollout. Behind the line of scrimmage. Nowhere near picking up the 1st down. Corey Thompson all over Ethan Wolf. And now, if it is 4-down territory, it will be 4th down and closer to 4.
Wow.
46 yards away for Aaron Medley to try and pull Tennessee within 4. No chance. How much of a risk taker would you be as a play caller here with a touchdown lead in a sideways rainstorm before halftime?
I would be very careful, but set up that play action pass you have with a commitment to the run.
Etling will roll out to the sideline. That is a completion. And that's good for a 1st down to Derek Dillon, a gain of 12.
And that's a good play. That mitigates risk. You're not just sitting there in the pocket. You're moving the pocket, a run pass option there. And as you can see, Etling squaring the shoulders, throwing his first dart down the field.
And they go hurry up, still with a timeout. Darrell Williams turns the corner, and he's down the sideline. Darrell Williams with a block. Finally brought down inside the 15, close to the 10. They'll say he stepped out at the 13.
You know what you never do? You never do defensively. You never duck under a block. And that's exactly what the safety Abernathy tried to do there, and that freed up the edge, and LSU makes Tennessee pay for 31.
Etling up the middle, and a quarterback keeper walks into the end zone with an LSU touchdown. Ed Orgeron called timeouts from the sideline on defense, thinking he was going to need some time on the clock. Instead, his offense goes right down the field in 28 seconds. And it's a 2-touchdown lead for LSU. You were talking about Danny Etling running a 4.940.
Correct.
Right? That wasn't autobiographical?
Maybe.
No, we're...
Sure.
Change the first digit. I think 5.940 is probably
he likes that
more
smile
accurate,
because he knows it. It's 17-3 now, and in this kind of monsoon that is coming, with an offense on the other side that has struggled to score any points consistently, especially as the injuries have mounted, that was ideal pushing into halftime. Unless you get it going here in a hurry, this place could empty out.
Garantano, quick hitter to the sideline, hauled in by Brandon Johnson, because at some point you have to do something offensively besides give the ball to John Kelly.
Yes, and your defenders feel that. Right, defenders are not only reactionary to plays oftentimes, they can be reactionary to what the other side is doing as well. And if it feels hopeless, like, man, another 3 and out, another 3 and out, another 3 and out.
They have to respot the football as the wind is so strong down in the field. The ball started to blow across inside the hash mark. 2nd down and 7. Garantano, there's a screen that's bobbled and dropped by Kelly. Well, this big orange offense is the worst that anyone in Knoxville can remember. They are 101st in FBS or worse in scoring, rushing, passing, total offense, 3rd down conversions, and sacks allowed. Just doesn't get any worse than that. And just above the score, you can see one after another at the bottom of the league in every important offensive category in the SEC for Tennessee. Garantano under pressure again. He might have to try and run for it. Instead, throws one across his body, trying to make the catch and stay in bounds is Callaway. Did he do it? The officials say yes. That's a big 3rd down catch for Tennessee and Marquez Callaway.
Well, and there's a difference. We saw it go route earlier tonight where the ball sails out of bounds, and this one, this is all guts here for Jarrett. This is I'm going to put it up there, and it's got to be your ball or nobody's ball. And Callaway once again responding and delivering. Frustrated with his 2 muff punts. He's come back and been a better blocker, and that was by far the best play for this offense tonight.
Looking for him again. And Callaway's got it with a flag down. He's into the end zone. It's a touchdown.
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, the touchdown.
How about that bounce back from Marquez Callaway? You have to feel great for that kid. You muff 2 punts and give up 10 of LSU's 17 points to come back and catch a 46-yard touchdown before halftime.
And you just got 7. You did it. Oh, and you just showed your quarterback do it again. Okay, we're going to play on the playground in the 2nd half. It is going to be a mess. Debris is going to be flying everywhere. It's not going to be pretty. Just throw it up to me, and I'm going to deliver on the other end.
Adnan in the studio with the halftime report. We knew at some point the heavy rain was going to arrive. It has arrived, to say the least. LSU with a 7-point lead over Tennessee. We think we're ready for the start of the 2nd half. We're up here somewhere, but it is a sideways monsoon of a rainstorm here at Neyland Stadium. On top of that, about half of the lights that ring the top of the stadium went out while we were away just before we came back. I'm looking up at the lights now. They don't seem to be coming back on. This is an amazing scene, and on top of that, both teams ran out of the tunnel like they were about to play the 2nd half of the Super Bowl. I think the players are ready to take on the elements.
You love this. I mean, watching Ed Orgeron in the tunnel, right, and talking to Allison here. This is what you live for. You're like a kid again. And I know these are young men. These aren't yet professional football players. But this brings you back to when you're 7, 8, 9 years old, when your pads didn't fit you. All those little kids we saw in the hotel today, Bob, playing their Little League football playoff games. Man, this is exactly what it's like for these guys. Love it.
When I was 8 or 9 years old, if I tried to play in this, my mom would have pulled me into the house. It is hard to see the field. It might be hard to see the football. We're going to play some football as the 2nd half is underway. And the ball is somewhere in all of that. And it's loose back inside the 10-yard line, back to the 5. Callaway tries to cover it up, and I think he caught it at about the 3-yard line. And a moment ago, before all of this fun began, Coach O with Allison in the tunnel.
Coach Orgeron, after you guys gave up that late touchdown, you
not want to play for that guy.
Can I go run down on the sidelines? Allison, come up here, get dry. I want to go do this game down. I want to feel those elements on the field, Bob. Man.
Jarrett Garantano looking over to the sideline. I'm not sure he can see the sideline. And here is a handoff to John Kelly. And he is brought down inside the 2-yard line. And we're going to have to shoot this game with our cart from right behind the bench as best we can, because it's hard to see the field as we take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Dell.
And you can see that time of possession. You would think that Tennessee would be in total control of this game, but it was the 2 muffed punts that set up 10 points for LSU. A muffed kickoff here has put LSU at their own goal line. And we're going to do our best start we can to shoot this game from some views that you can see. It looks like a few more of the lights are coming back on in the stadium. I've never seen anything like this.
Kelly again. Across the 3-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and long. And there are slowly but surely a few of the lights that went out flickering back on.
Now the good news, this will pass.
In moments, as a matter of fact.
This is going to be the worst of it. It is why I think rightfully they're going to continue to play this game. There's no threat of lightning. The band of weather, this is the worst of it. This is the brunt of it. And you've got to get through it here if you're Tennessee and continue to take care of the football. QB sneak.
Play clock down to 5, and that's exactly what Tennessee does as Jarrett Garantano just tries to buy some real estate for the punt crew.
Yeah, watch this. You've seen this at the British Open, right? Watch the ball here. I think that's what this felt like. It felt like the British Open in the worst of elements. Look at the defenders. I didn't do it. I promise you I didn't kick the ball. It is just the elements, and it is lightening up. I think that was the absolute worst of it, and that was an adventure.
Well, Trevor Daniel might have an adventure trying to kick the ball from the end zone, just handling the snap. Well done. And he boots it to about midfield, and it will take a Tennessee hop and spin right to the 50-yard line. A 47-yard punt, but great field position for LSU. Their first opportunity with the football here in the 3rd quarter at the 50. Darius Geis picks up 4. And when we said the worst of the rain may now be past us, don't think it stopped raining. It is still a monsoon here in Knoxville. And this field is going to turn into a swamp.
Oh, there's Allison.
And now Allison has returned to the game.
I thought I was going to get blown away there in the tunnel with Coach O. My goodness, I don't think I've ever seen it come down like that with that kind of wind. I mean, it's letting up a little bit, but not much.
Geis again. About 3 yards shy of the first down. And Allison, how much fun was it talking to Coach O in the tunnel with all those players whooping it up right behind you?
It was awesome. It was such a cool feeling because you could feel that energy that starts to build up as they're getting ready to run out. And you know him, his energy is so infectious. He's all smiles. He's ready to go out. And the rain is just pelting them all in the face and they're feeding off it. It was a pretty cool moment.
Well, now 3rd down and 3, closer to 3rd down and 4 for the LSU offense. Taking over at the 50-yard line. They don't want to spoil the great field position. Big chance for the Tennessee defense to get a stop. Etling on a cutback. He's got the first down.
You've seen more commitment to that tonight, and that is a reflection of what Tennessee is doing defensively. They are going to sell out. They're not going to let Darius Geis beat them tonight. These linebackers, these safeties have been downhill. It is fast flow, and you can see very clearly if they're going to let anybody beat them on offense, it's going to be Danny Etling with his legs, and he's been effective. Allison pulling a little Jim Cantore down there. I think the Weather Channel is a little bit envious of this situation. I think they'd like to be here on the field tonight.
She might send the tape in moonlight. Geis again. This time breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet, has an LSU first down. And gets pushed hard out of bounds.
Here you go, man. This is what you were built for. And look at him. He just loves. He's the Energizer Bunny anyway. And he is constant. He's feeling better. You can see it. Just his health. The bounce is coming back. Look at him. Yeah, this is like when I was 10, 11 years old. Down there in Louisiana. They know some rain down there as well. This should be no thing, and he should feel this as this game goes on. It's going to be the run game that's going to determine it.
Two more yards for Geis. Darius Geis gets to 71 total yards rushing tonight and scores a touchdown. He would join Leonard Fournette, Kevin Falk, Dalton Hilliard, and Charles Alexander as the only players in LSU history to have 1,000 yards and 10 or more touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. And he is almost assuredly going to get to the 1,000-yard mark tonight. Will he score a touchdown? We'll find out.
And if you ever want to take a shot here, look at the commitment and everybody selling out to stop that run.
Instead, they'll play the jet sweep. Darrell Williams tries to turn the corner, breaks a tackle, stays in bounds, and he's got another LSU first down.
And that really is their shot making. Right? It is what they have done all season. Their receivers do not get a lot of touches outside. This is how they try to do it and influence it. You break one tackle. And we saw it earlier today as he got out. You bust one tackle, you make the big play. Now that defense almost feels like 62 stack monster. If Bob Shoop is sitting up here next to us, the Tennessee coaches, just look at the commitment. You have one guy that is 6 yards deep.
Here goes Geis up the middle. He is tough to bring down. Powers his way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line for a gain of between 5 and 6 yards. And it is still raining, but not nearly as hard as it was earlier. Now the lights are all back on here in Knoxville. They want their defense to bow up, though. Second down and 4.5. Geis up the middle. He's got a first down. First and goal to the 3-yard line.
And when he gets ahead of steam, and that's the difference here with some of the productivity from Darius in the second half. That first half, you saw the commitment of Tennessee in the penetration that really stopped him at the point of attack. And a different story here to begin the second half, and I'm sure there was a little bit of a tongue lashing at halftime that, hey, we've got to get our MVP going, our best player going, and just give him the opportunity to get ahead of steam.
Geis up the middle for the touchdown.
And you will not see it done better than Ed Ingram and Toby Weathersby just did for Darius on the right side of that line. The true freshman Ed Ingram, the right guard, Toby Weathersby, the right tackle. They just took their double team into the end zone, getting to the second level. Danny Etling, it was his legs earlier in that first half. That was almost all Darius Geis on the 9-play drive there, done on the ground for LSU.
That's a missed extra point. On a sloppy field, Culp couldn't put it through. He grazed the right upright. So it's still a 13-point lead for the Tigers. Boy, some amazing video that was shot yesterday, courtesy of Tennessee grad, former UT football player, Stan Spider Jones. He led the flyover tonight before kickoff over Neyland Stadium. And he did this for us before retiring from the U.S. Navy. Now a squadron commander for Air Test and Evaluation Squadron 9 in China Lake, California. Tim Jordan on the kickoff return had trouble handling the football. Of course, on the last kickoff to start the second half, all the way down at the 3-yard line, Callaway was pinned. That led to a short field for LSU. John Kelly up the middle and gets a push across the 20. Special teams we knew was going to be a big part of tonight's game, and look what it has done to field position for both of these teams.
Yeah, to set the table. It set the table for LSU, and a whole lot of their points have been on those short fields. And it's been an uphill battle in every single way. And I have a sense Mr. Callaway, before this night is done, is going to have a couple more go routes thrown his way.
Straight back to throw for Garantano. He'll take a shot down the sideline, but his receiver stopped. Josh Palmer broke off his route, and Dante Jackson was the only player that had a chance at the football. Now it's third down and a long one close to 2.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to the true freshman, not after what Callaway, that we call that a mirror route. Right, that is just 7-man protection. You've got go routes on both sides, and as a QB, you really get to pick who you want to go to in that situation. He goes for the true freshman, no separation. And the redshirt freshman eyeing that sidelines and really hoping to keep these chains moving.
Play clock down to 5. Garantano out of the pocket. Dives forward, close to the first down. Rashard Lawrence brought him down. Where will they spot the football? Boy, very close. And it looks like he might be just a bit short. 2:47 to go in the third. Brock down by 2 touchdowns inside your own 25-yard line. You're going for it.
Sure. Now there's a little danger here. You've got a new center that has already been a challenge on a few of the snaps, even securing if it is to be a quarterback sneak. That Ryan Johnson there, number 70, moved from right guard to left guard to center, and you can secure that first and foremost.
Look at the defense for LSU. I mean, nobody protecting the middle of the field.
He doesn't even know what the play is. He was looking at it. Don't worry about it. And it may just be a hard count here, trying to get all those bodies to move.
There's the quarterback sneak. Extra effort. He might have lost yardage. Behind a makeshift offensive line, they try and sneak it inside their own 25-yard line. And it looks like Tennessee has come up short. No measurement necessary here. He lost yardage.
And it was big, number 99. If the offensive line on the other side is built for moments like this, so is Greg Gilmore. Low man win, and you're taking on a new center, and you can see the line of scrimmage changes. He and his buddy Lawrence right next to him, they get underneath, and they don't just get underneath. I mean, they are down there digging, and they are driving that line of scrimmage back, and there was nowhere for Garantano to go.
When Greg Gilmore wants to train during the offseason, he gets together with Frank Herron, and those two this past summer would take Greg Gilmore's truck and push it up and down the alley next to the LSU training facility.
Yeah, that was the Walter Jones.
That is old school.
Yeah, Walter Jones method back in the day.
How about this shift? Unbalanced to the left. Play action instead to the right for Etling. An easy flip into the right flat to Darrell Williams. Well-designed play, and it's first and goal at the 6.
Master of deception. That is so much of what LSU loves to do there in that pre-snap routine, and they've been really good tendency-wise. Running to the right, running to the left, off that unbalanced. And that time I've been calling for that play-action pass. And they've done it with the jet sweep. At that time, the more conventional method, and another big play for LSU.
And now it's Geist that lines up as the H-back, and instead it's Williams that takes the handoff. He's into the end zone again for another LSU touchdown.
In some ways, conventional wisdom would have told you that the monsoon and the rainy conditions may favor the underdog. Get it ugly. But that is just the way LSU plays. They hit you in the face. Foster Morrow there, number 84, one of Ed Orgeron's favorites. Really, in his estimation, exemplifies the toughness of the program. Paved the way for Darrell Williams, another guy that if you want to see who's the face of this program, there's no doubt the Geist is the best. He's the energizer. He's the choreographer. But it's Darrell Williams and company that like doing the dirty work and pay it off.
Returnable for Tim Jordan. To the 20-yard line. Markson. Well, John Kelly is stronger than 5'9", 205. Whatever lead you to believe, as he is able to carry tacklers across the 25-yard line.
And he'll be a senior next year, and there's a couple pieces in place. There have been some top-notch recruiting classes that Butch Jones brought here to Knoxville. John is a fire plug. He is a ball of energy, but it is just so, and I've said this once, I've said it 100 times tonight, it is so difficult to do anything, to implement any kind of game plan, if you just can't really even function here at the line of scrimmage, which has been so much of this season for Tennessee.
Kelly again. Maybe a yard and a half. Ed Alexander made the stop. Now, it's a minute to go in the third quarter. You're down by 3 scores. At some point, just for the sake of not playing in a phone booth, do you not have to allow Garantano to throw the football more than 5 yards past the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, and I think you're looking at quick game, right? At that point, all we have really seen were 2 go routes and then screen passes. That really is the majority of what you have been able to handle here offensively tonight. Yeah, but at some point, Callaway's got to get involved in something other than just a pure go route. But look at this. I mean, this is smart. This is exactly what you do. Give them no free access and make them earn everything.
Garantano, long throw to the sideline, loops it in, and it is caught by Jeff George. And somehow he stays in bounds with the stiff arm down inside the 15-yard line. Some life shown by the Vols.
And I think Dave Aranda is saying, are you kidding me? The drive before half were 2 miraculous plays. And that time, Kevin Tolliver just loses sight. The ball's got a lot of air on it. It's not thrown anywhere near the timing and the precision, but that is a 60-yarder thrown right into coverage. And credit Jeff George there for not quitting.
And that will take us to the 4th quarter, where Tennessee will try and make it a 2-score game again, as they will have it inside the LSU 15-yard line when we come back. Bob Wischusen alongside Brock Ewart. Allison Williams down on the field. Start of the 4th quarter. And it was slow going for Tennessee until they hit one for 60 right at the end of the 3rd. This is their first snap in the red zone on offense tonight. Trying to make the game interesting, but now field goals do nothing for the Vols. They need touchdowns. Bobbled snap once again. Maintaining his composure. Garantano bullets one to the sideline and off the chest plate of Callaway. And Callaway's hurt. He gets up, can't put any weight on the right ankle.
That kid, like so many of these, has just been banged up and hurt all season long.
He missed last week's game because of an ankle injury. He was questionable even tonight and was able to gut it out. Well, the hits just keep on coming for Tennessee. It's amazing. Kelly up the middle. Now it will be 3rd down, and it looks as if the Vols can get a first down at about the half-yard line, but for all intent and purposes, it's 3rd down and goal.
Referenced all the statistical struggles from this season, and you can add this area of the field with it as well. Just situationally, there's nothing to hang your hat on all season. And really, even like the last 2 snaps, it doesn't look like much, but it just discombobulates the entire timing rhythm of the play if you can't even secure that initially.
Garantano through the back of the end zone. Now it's 4th down. Hit by Rashard Lawrence.
Yeah, Rashard Lawrence is welcoming Trey Smith at that left tackle position. Trey's been really good. He's going to be a freshman All-American. He played right guard his first 8 starts. He's out there on an island. He's won some battles in the run game. He has lost some battles. He's going to be a very good one, but Mr. Lawrence is getting healthy tonight in many ways.
Four-man rush. Tennessee, of course, has to go for it. Shot through the back of the end zone from Garantano, incomplete. And the Vols will turn it over on downs. So LSU with the football and a 20-point lead. They have survived the elements. And so far, at least, have survived a Tennessee team that came out tonight with a lot of passion. But that passion is not only matched, but exceeded when Ed Orgeron is the coach on the other sideline.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw that at halftime, right? He is at the front of the line. The rain and the wind is pelting him in the face, and he just says, bring it on. Let's go. And in some ways, isn't that LSU season? I mean, they got hit in the face. You lose to Troy. You lose your streak of all these wins versus non-conference teams, and it would have been easy to just tuck tail, you know, if you didn't have the grit and the toughness. And he pointed to that game and really the overcoming that adversity for just the makeup of this crew. And they like to fight. And it's not very often, you know, when I ask these coaches, and you get tired of it, rightfully so. You get tired when I ask them who's just the toughest guy, right? You get in the octagon in the middle of this stadium, who's it going to be? It's going to be this guy. And it's not many times. I think you even said, Bob, that's the first tight end. Foster Morrow is the toughest guy. That's the one that you would put in the ring. And Ed Orgeron said absolutely. And to me, that just speaks to how many tough guys he's got on this team.
Geis breaks a tackle. And he finds his way to the 25-yard line. That is good for a first down. Geis again, about 5 yards. Having said that, though, don't you at some point in today's world of college football have to come out of this by getting a big-time quarterback, matching the wide receiver talent that they have traditionally had, which is through the roof at LSU, so you don't just depend on these great running backs? Because Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, the latest two incarnations of great running backs they've had at LSU, but they never seem to be able to have a pass game that they can consistently count on.
Any balance in that phase of it.
And Batuli able to shake it off and get back out on the field for Tennessee. Geis for 2 more yards.
I think
and it is Batuli in on the stop.
Yeah, and I think where that stands out is even look at this stretch where they have been red hot in conference. And they ran for 190 yards on Alabama. Nobody else has done that this season. But in that game, there were 4, 5, 6 shot plays that you've got to hit. Now, you're going to get, if you're going to come here and you're going to be a wide receiver or you're going to come here to play quarterback, you are going to get one-on-one situations. You're just going to. With what they're going to have at the line of scrimmage, 2 true freshmen here. As excited as they are at Tennessee about Trey Smith, be equally excited about 77 there, Charles. Right guard Ingram, who's had some fantastic blocks today. You get those one-on-ones, but you have got to win them against elite competition.
Etling bypassed the pitch to Geis and picked up the first down on his own.
And I think the exciting thing here, too, is every one of these LSU O-linemen, they come back. KJ Malone has been battling some injury. He's been out the last 4 weeks. That's opened up the door for 77 Charles. We saw him in warm-up. He was the big guy that ran by me. And what did you say? Look at those calves.
Yeah, they were bigger than my thighs. That's saying something. I'm not skinny. Geis inside the 40. Puts a move on, but loses his footing. Almost juked out Nigel Warrior. Plenty good enough for another LSU first down. And looks like Brock Ewart after he gets done on the range. That is ugly.
And guess where they ran behind? Big calves. They ran right behind old Sadiq Charles and the rest of the crew. And that also has just jumped off the film. We had LSU week 1. And, you know, as they've evolved this season, as all that grass comes underneath and comes out, as they've evolved, what I have seen is just an unbelievable commitment from every receiver on this team. You know that the tight ends like to block. We already pointed to the toughness of Morrow. But watch these guys block. Everybody gets involved.
Geis again. Keeps driving his legs inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. And remember, Etling to Geis. A gain of 2.5. Not much mystery as to how LSU was going to win this game tonight. They have strayed true to their game plan. There's still a few folks having fun here at Neyland Stadium. Not as much fun as trying to tackle Darius Geis, who, by the way, it looks like just had the wind knocked out of him as he landed on the football, went over to the sideline. If you're a worried LSU fan about your star running back, he seems to be fine. But that might be the end of the day or evening for Darius Geis. Darrell Williams takes over at tailback. Third down. And he'll take the handoff. Met behind the line and dropped. Patuli is able to get the tackle for loss. That'll bring up fourth down.
And this may just be a go for it here. No reason to run the field goal unit on the field. And I think even the punt, just go ahead and just continue to commit to this grind.
After the timeout, they will go for it on fourth down. Etling to throw. And he's going to put one up for grabs for Chark. Tries to adjust. There's the flag. Dragged down by Shaq Wiggins.
Look at him hobbling. He's got a cast on his left hand. I mean, this is as walking wounded as any football team I have seen.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Some hand fighting there. And you're allowed a little bit of that, but then when you tug and you pull that player down, right, kind of the impetus then of the hand movement, you're pulling and tugging and impeding that receiver's ability to go get it, you're going to draw the penalty.
A good play by Chark as well to fight his way back to the football, and that's something I always hear you say when it's a 50-50 pass interference or not call. It's kind of on the receiver to fight his way to the football and earn the flag. And Geis back in. Up the middle. It looks like he got past the line of scrimmage for a yard.
Yeah, and I don't think that's just me. Tom Blackledge said the same thing. I think any old quarterback that's up in a booth now with a headset on says the same thing, because when you know when you let that ball go, and Ed Orgeron knows it from the defensive side, you're signing that check as a quarterback. And Todd made the point today. Jeff Thomas, the true freshman receiver for Miami, on an underthrown ball, just stopped. He didn't go back and fight for it, and it's your ball or nobody's ball.
To throw. Right flat. Caught by Williams. Stays in bounds to the 9. And that was a great point that he made. I remember that play where that was one of the interceptions thrown by Malik Rozier. And at some point, if you're a receiver and you see that that ball is underthrown and maybe picked off, you got to help your quarterback out and become a defensive player.
Yep. And Danny doesn't put the ball in harm's way very often. Right, and the stats don't just blow up off the page. 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and you see even tonight, just whatever it takes, he's going to run one in. Yeah, not many better taking care of the football this season than Danny Etling. Something he's charged to do within this system.
Williams again. And most likely another go-for-it situation here for LSU inside the 10-yard line. You know, back to Miami for a moment. We will be the day after Thanksgiving. A noon kick at Heinz Field against Pitt for Miami will be there. And the Canes really did provide the big drama today in terms of the teams inside the college football playoff. Actually, here comes Connor Culp to try a field goal. Where do you think that team's at right now after that win today?
I think they have an unbelievable sense of belief that has been built this season. It really doesn't matter what you throw at them, and they're down 14 in the second half, and they just don't flinch.
Just outside the upright, and that was hooked through the wind by Connor Culp. So he can't add 3 more. 3.5 minutes to go here in Knoxville. Screen. Caught by Tim Jordan. He's down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds at midfield. Hard hit from John Battle. But right at the midfield stripe, the screen works to perfection, picks up 28.
Well, there's one takeaway from this game. Tennessee can run screens. You've seen just about every variety of them. And outside of the 2 go routes before halftime to Callaway, that is it. That has been the essence of their offense, certainly their passing game tonight.
And the catch on the dive is Brandon Johnson. Well, I feel old too. Brandon Johnson's father, Charles, a 12-year catcher in the big leagues with 7 different teams. Originally came up with the Marlins, part of a World Series championship team. I remember his call-up. I was working in Miami when his dad got called up, and he was called up. He was a young man. That's when you know you're getting old. 2nd down and 3. Quarterback run and nowhere to run for Garantano. Christian Lacouture buries him behind the line.
You know, it's an empty feeling when you have a run-pass option and you pull the ball for the pass and all 3 receivers go and block, and you're left to hold it for those guys to come hit you. That is no good.
Were there a lot of run-pass options dialed up when Brock Ewart was the runner in the run-pass option?
Just because you told the story about making yourself feel old, you trying to do that to me now?
Well, I think the 5'9" 40 was more of a telling line where that strategy was concerned. Check down over the middle, bobbled and dropped by Tim Jordan with a minute to go.
And it's going to be fun to watch Devin White over the years.
Only a sophomore.
Yeah, of any of these defenders over the course of this season, just in watching tape and getting ready for this one and seeing LSU at the beginning of the year versus just watching their body of work this season, I don't think anybody grew their game more than Devin. And just his explosion is unique. It is different. LSU has always produced will linebackers like him that just can run, flat out go. He continues to add further discipline, eye discipline, play in and play out. He'll be an all-conference player.
Running back
he's not
in
already.
high school. That was converted to linebacker. Here he comes on the blitz. Down goes Garantano on 4th down, so that will turn it over on downs, and LSU can go to victory formation with under a minute to go. So this will now, for LSU, since that loss to Troy, be 5 wins in 6 tries in the conference. They will close things out at Death Valley against Texas A&M next weekend. Then obviously whatever bowl game they get sent to gives them a chance for a 10-win season in the first year under Ed Orgeron as the head coach for the entire season.
And for Brady Hoke, he really wanted to get these seniors here at Tennessee an opportunity to go to another bowl game. And that is just not going to happen, and the search is on. I thought Herbie made an excellent point on game day this morning. That early signing period is going to change the dynamic. Right, for the first time, you have an early signing period at the end of December, and for all these administrators and athletic directors across the country, as they try to get their program set,
you need your coach in
place. You need it in a hurry.
Well, you sparked a little controversy, or at least some headlines here, when you had John Gruden on your talk show in Seattle, and he just threw out an Enjoy Rocky Top.
Yeah.
And that somehow sparked the interest of a former grad assistant back in the day here at Tennessee. Could they ever convince John Gruden to come be the head coach and leave the Monday Night Football booth? But there are right now, you'd have to think, a lot of candidates and a lot of ways they could go.
And there's a lot of jobs, and in this conference in particular.
Well, no need to talk about a coaching vacancy at LSU. They have their man, and they are happy to have him. Ed Orgeron has guided LSU now to 5 wins in their last 6 since what looked like a catastrophic loss to Troy, and certainly was at the end of September. But this group's shown some fight, and they have rebounded, and they still have the possibility of a 10-win season out in front of them. Well, let's head down to Allison.
Darius was acting tough all game, but look at him. His teeth are chattering now. I gotta start by asking you what it was like playing in this game, just from a weather standpoint. I mean, it was raining sideways. What was this like?
Wait, can you say that again?
What was it like playing in this weather tonight?
Oh man, we're ready for this. You know, we came out second half. We already knew what was going to happen. Everybody was telling us the weather forecast, so you know we just came ready. You know, we felt more ready than them at their own stadium. You know, no matter what the weather is, you got to be ready to play ball.
Have you ever played in conditions like that? I mean, it was literally raining sideways out there.
Oh, I never played nothing like this. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, what I'm gonna tell the coach? Oh, I don't want to play because it's too cold. You know, it's raining. I don't want to play. Like, you know, you got to man up and go.
And you guys did that. What was the difference in the second half when you guys pulled away?
Just pounding the ball. You know, with the weather conditions, you know, we couldn't throw the ball as much. You know, we had to run against a loaded box all game. You know, you just got to keep pounding and pounding. You know, and eventually something will open up.
This team has now won 5 of 6. What has come together for you guys?
Our team chemistry. You know, we all got closer. You know, as a brotherhood and as a family. You know, Coach O always tells us, you know, stay up. You know, don't worry about the people outside. You know, just do you. You know, focus, study more, and everything will be fine.
Darius, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Guys, back up to you.
He's a character. You know, it's amazing. If you took Darius Geis, that same accent, everything he just said, and did it in a really low, gravelly voice, he's Ed Orgeron. It's basically the same
Life of the
thing.
party, man.
What a win for LSU. For Allison and Brock, I'm Bob Wischusen. So long from Knoxville, back to Adnan.